Alright, so today we're going to be doing my first ever tag video. I've never done anything like this before, so basically if you don't know what this video is going to be all about, I'm just going to answer some questions that have to do with heavy music. I want to thank my fellow YouTuber Ariana Nikki for creating this tag, because it's the first tag option that I've seen that remotely interests me. So thank you, Ariana Nikki. Let's get right into it, shall we? Alright, so the first question is, what band introduced me to the genre? So the first band that I ever really got into was Breaking Benjamin, and to this day they're like one of my all-time favorites. And they're pretty heavy at times, but I wouldn't go as far as to say they got me into heavy music. I want to say A Day to Remember got me into heavy music, because they're the first band I ever got into that had like a lot of screaming. And I know you can be a heavy band without screaming at all, but whenever my friend, he showed me the entirety of What Separates Me From You, and it was, at first I hated it. Like the song Second Sucks, for example. I love that song now, but when I first heard it, it scared me. So it sort of launched me into this whole new world of heavier music and all these different bands. And whenever I was listening to Breaking Benjamin, it was like Breaking Benjamin and like a handful of other bands. I never really branched out too much, and some of the bands actually weren't even heavy. So yeah, I would say that A Day to Remember got me into like heavy music. Alright, so I already answered this question actually, but the second question is, when you first heard the genre, were you scared of the music? Yes, I was. Like I said, the first like heavy album I listened to was What Separates Me From You, and I know there's like some pop punk songs on there as well, but there's also some heavy songs, and the opener of that album is the song Sticks and Bricks, and yeah, that scared me. That scared me a lot. That opening lyric, I'm fueled by all forms of failure, like that's just like super angry, and the guitar riff, that opening riff is so heavy, and it was like, it scared me, but like it intrigued me so much, and I knew that I knew there was something to it. There was something to this type of music that I didn't get yet, but the more I listened to it, I knew I would eventually get. So the third question is, what was my first heavy/core show? So the first heavy/core show I think I ever went to was actually the House Party Tour back in 2013 or 2014, I don't remember. I just remember I was super young. And it was A Day to Remember, All Time Low, Pierce the Veil, and The Wonder Years. I know only like two of those bands even count as like somewhat heavy or core, but no, I mean, Pierce the Veil and Day to Remember, they have some heavy songs, so I'll consider it. So yeah, that was the first heavy core show I went to, was the House Party Tour. And that was actually also the first like real concert I went to that wasn't like seats like in a big arena. It was the first concert that I like heard about and was like, I need to get tickets for this, and it was the first concert I was at where there was like a pit, and it was insane. That concert is probably like one of my all-time favorite memories. The fourth question is, what is my current favorite heavy band? Oh, that's a hard one, because that heavier music now actually makes up the majority of the music I listen to. I like all types of music. I know that's like a really generic thing to say, but it's pretty true in my case. But I like a lot of heavy music. I guess right now it would have to be, my favorite heavy band right now would have to be Every Time I Die. I've been listening to their newest album, Low Teens, ever since it came out in November. I want to say November. And it doesn't ever get old. Every song on that album is just a banger, and it hits so hard. And Keith Buckley's lyricism, oh my god. And don't even get me started on their guitar riffs. It's good shit, man. It's good shit. Ooh, okay, number 5, the fifth question. Breakdowns or solos? Another tough one. Being a musician, I feel like I'm able to appreciate guitar solos more than people who aren't musicians. But at the same time, like breakdowns, like a really good breakdown, and there's not a lot of those anymore, by the way, but a really good like chugging guitar, like heavy breakdown. I don't know, man, there's something about that just gets me really pumped up, and it gets me more invested into the song that I'm listening to. But at the same time, so can a really awesome melodic like solo. I honestly, I have to go with a healthy mixture between the two. I can't do it. Oh, this is a good one. The sixth question is, any interesting stories about the Pit? I have a lot, actually, and there's one that I actually want to save for an entire video. So I'm not going to say anything about that because I'm definitely going to make that into a video one of these days. But the first one, it was actually at the house party tour. The one that was my first heavy show, and this was my first time ever experiencing what a mosh pit was like. And I'd always heard how awesome mosh pits were, so I knew I had to experience it. I was like 13 or 14 years old, and I was pretty little, so it was kind of dangerous, but I never got hurt. But a couple really funny things happened in the pit. I remember there was this like circle pit going on during a Day to Remember set. I don't remember what song they were playing, but there was this really, really tall, muscular dude like standing in the middle, just kind of like watching the show. And I was really little, and at that time, A Day to Remember was like my all-time favorite band. Like I didn't listen to anything but A Day to Remember. And I went up to the guy, and I don't know what caused me to do this. I don't know, sometimes when I'm at concerts, it brings out my full personality. I don't know, I have a lot of energy, and my social anxiety just kind of completely goes out the window at concerts. So I just went up to this dude and I was like, can I sit on your shoulders? I guess maybe it's the same for him too, because he let me. He put me on. He was a nice dude. He was such a nice dude. He was like, yeah, dude, get on my shoulders. And he got down, and I got on his shoulders, and I don't remember how long it was, but I remember Jeremy McKinnon, the singer for A Day to Remember, like pointed right at me, and oh, that beard though. I got another good story. So another good story. This was at the Devil Wears Prada, and they were playing. They were on a tour for their EP, the Zombie EP, I believe, and it's actually where I got this shirt because Born of Osiris was opening. But I was in a mosh pit during the Devil Wears Prada, and this giant dude just came out of nowhere and flew into me, and that caused me to fly through this like wall of people into the next mosh pit over. There were two mosh pits going on at the same time, so I get flown into this next mosh pit, and then I get like trampled on, and I chipped my elbow. Not even kidding you. I'm pretty sure I can still feel it if I can find where it happened. Yeah, right there. Right there. Little tiny chip. But it didn't even faze me because I had so much adrenaline going through me at the time, and I was just like, I just like got right back up and started moshing again. It was great. It was a great time. It did hurt really bad the next morning though. My favorite piece. Okay, sorry. So the seventh question is, what is my favorite piece of merch? I'm not going to show any of my records because I just did a video about all my records, and I think that kind of counts as like merch. I'm assuming this is like referring to like clothing. So I have a lot. It'd have to be this. It's actually kind of a coincidence that this happens to be down here in my basement. But Let Live, when they broke up, something just compelled me to buy this. So I bought this back patch for my jean jacket. It's the Let Live like logo, and yeah, I freaking love this thing. It looks so sick. It's the only back patch that I own too. Ooh, hey, thumbnail shot. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite piece of band merch to date. I'm really pissed off that I can't wear this during the summer because it gets really hot in Pittsburgh during the summer, and wearing a jean jacket in hot weather, it ain't worth it, dude. It ain't worth it. Alright, next question, number 8. Do I receive any hate for listening to the genre? Yeah, I do. I have like a handful of friends that like the same music as I do, and they don't even go to the same school as me. So, you know, me, this kid walking around with like freaking Let Live back patches, Born of Osiris shirts, and like all the other band merch that I have, just kind of makes me want to listen to heavy music even more for some reason. Number 9. What band do you really want to see live? There's so many. And some of them are like they broke up. Like, I'd love to see Dillinger, like the Dillinger Escape Plan, but they're breaking up, and I'm pretty sure they're not coming to Pittsburgh on their farewell tour. The Chariot. I've already seen this 68 twice, but the singer for 68's old band, The Chariot, like their live videos on YouTube are some of the most insane live videos I've ever seen, and I would give anything to be a part of an audience at a Chariot show. Like, oh, and then definitely Let Live, because well they've been to Pittsburgh 5 times since I started listening to them, and each time I have not been able to go see them. So, and then they broke up, so now I'm never going to be able to get to see Let Live, which is just, it hurts. It really hurts. But I already saw Every Time I Die, but I'd probably want to see them again for sure. This time at like a headlining show, because last time they were opening up for Beartooth. So yeah, I definitely want to see Every Time I Die again, but this time it would be at a headlining show. Next question! Favorite heavy song? I'll do a song that I like that's heavy with like the music, and then a song I like that's heavy with like, as in like the lyrics. Like the lyrics are really heavy and they like hit you, you know? That sort of thing. My favorite heavy song music-wise? Honestly, I'll probably have to go with The Coin Has to Say by Every Time I Die. That song is just such a banger. It's like the heaviest song they've put out in a long time. So I'm gonna go with The Coin Has to Say for the music-wise. And for the lyrics, I'm gonna have to go with Virgin Dirt by Let Live. Please read the lyrics of that song. They are perfect. They are perfect. They are so poetic, and all of their lyrics have a way of just like getting to me really deep, right in the feels. But Virgin Dirt, man. Number 11, my current favorite albums. That's actually an easy one. It's like the first easy one. Alright, definitely Low Teens by Every Time I Die. All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us by Architects. Laugh Tracks by Knocked Loose, that's a great one. Fake History by Let Live. Oh God, The Aftermath by Norma Jean. Long Live by The Chariot. And that's probably it for the albums. And the last question, this is actually a very deep question. You know, I'm sorry if this question is like awkward for you guys watching or anything, but it's a very personal question. It just says arf arf.